From hero to headlines. And I know you guys have heard it. It is about Ian Roberts, Dr. Ian Roberts. Now, let's go there, y'all. He's from Ghana. You guys know that, right? Let's go there. Because this is going to be a preview of an episode that I basically have made that's going to be coming up next week. But I want to speak about this very, very shortly because, guys, something just ain't right. You know how they say something in the water smelling fishy? Well, something in the water is smelling fishy. And I'm just going to hit on a couple of points, but I'm not going to stay on it long. Just enough to give you guys a little bit of a preview of some of the things that I will be discussing during this full episode, right? So I just want to get these points out the way. I didn't get to put these points into the episode. So I want to get these out the way and just kind of give you a preview. Now, let's talk about Dr. Ian Roberts. Now, he is being, in my opinion, he is in the news for a reason. They are more focused on him in the news for a reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why this is happening. And maybe you don't see the reason fully. Him being painted a criminal, him being painted, oh, he had a gun, but he didn't shoot nobody. Oh, well, he was funneling grades. Okay, so you knew, but you fired the person who reported it and you didn't do nothing about it. Oh, well, they told him that his visa was up and it was time for him to go. Oh, but you didn't know that he was on a visa. Okay, guys, let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. Let's get into this Dr. Ian Roberts. Now, just in case you don't know, America has a very, very long history of basically owning ideas or taking ownership of ideas or capitalizing off of ideas or whatever you want to name it. And let's start with Dr. Ian Roberts. Now, when you see my full episode, you're basically going to see what I'm talking about, right? I am doing this for Americans so that we can get better because this is not about immigration. This is in particularity about us. Do you understand that? This is really about us and the American people and who we choose to be. We can holler border, border, border all we want to, but if we on our end are not doing things right, then we're being hypocritical. I don't care what nobody say. We're being hypocritical. Okay, so Dr. Ian Roberts. I'm not going to get into great detail, but I'm going to get into a bit of some points that I'm trying to make. His service. Now, guys, just in case you don't know, and I did put this in the episode upcoming, they, and when I say they, I'm talking about the school board. I'm talking about other people. I'm talking about interviews he made in the media just about 3 weeks ago. Has acknowledged that he contributed to early education, the ideas, he contributed some ideas to early education and also to STEM. Just in case you guys don't know what STEM is in the educational bracket, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay. Now, mind you, those are some of the highest educational fields there are. I want you to really get where I'm going. That's not okay. We shaking our booties, we jumping up and down, we popping it like it's hot. Everybody wants to be Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. No, these are school districts that are involving all kinds of public school kids, black, majority black, some Hispanics, and of course some Caucasians. Now I want you to really understand this. This is STEM. Let me say it again: science, technology, engineering, and math. They acknowledge that he made contributions. They acknowledge that he granted some ideas and some information, right? And matter of fact, they even state for generations to come that will be helpful to them for generations to come. Remember, generations to come. Now, I want you to really get that term because this is for real. So just imagine that you become a millionaire and you keep flipping that money, flipping that money, flipping that money for generations to come. It's known as wealth, right? Ideas are wealth, just in case you didn't know it. So when he's contributing information, he's contributing ideas. This is instilling stuff that is going to be for generations to come. Now, the reason why I keep saying it that way, and you're probably saying, dang, girl, get to the point. Cool. I just wanted you to get what I'm trying to get at. Dr. Ian Roberts, you mean to tell me that this man worked in this country 20 years, 20 plus years, and you didn't know that his visa was expired? You didn't know that he had got in trouble before for having a gun. You didn't know these things about him. Yet you're painting him all over as a smear campaign. Oh my God, he's a criminal. Oh my God, he's this. You ought to hear some of the things that people are saying about him. Now, I put in my episode some of the clips that you will be able to see so that you can understand, guys, this is real how people be thinking, right? And the stuff that they be saying. Now, I want you to understand why this is happening the way that it's happening, because there's something that America is not telling you. There's something that America is not being honest with. And America has had this type of behavior for a very, very long time. Do you understand what I'm saying? The behavior goes like this: once we get what we want out of you, then you're no longer used to us. And when we want to overtake something, we know everything that your butt is doing behind closed doors, whether good or bad. We also know the game that we playing when we withholding information. But at the appointed time, when we get through using you, we're going to use that same information against you so that we can overtake what you contributed, and we're going to make you look so bad that now you look like a criminal and not the person you really are, which was the contributor for many, many years in the American school system. Now, don't get me wrong. Wrong is wrong, right is right. If your visa, now he didn't come over here illegal, like what people have when people are skipping the border and doing illegal things and coming over here illegal. He came on a visa, and that visa was expired. There were some people knew that his visa was expired. Let me tell you something, guys. Everybody is playing the game like, I don't know. I ain't know. I don't know. How many people know that this is a Masonic country? Masonic worldwide, but it's a Masonic country. It is a country that you don't rise in the ranks and nobody don't know who you are. I'm sorry, it don't work that way. You can barely go to the welfare office and they'll find out if you've been getting in some double dipping. You've been doing some stuff you ain't got no business doing. Do you understand that? I remember one time getting some food stamps and I had to go correct these people because I understand the game they play. I said, no, baby, I tried to show you that I no longer live in the state of Florida. And this is the state I'm in now, back in my home state. And you need to correct that because I kept trying to show you and you said you didn't need the proof. I said, no, you're supposed to get a letter of N from another state and get it over here. So see, when you see how they play the game, they'll make it look like you're double dipping or that you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. And you have to be aware. People will smile in your face, tell you one thing, but that paperwork is going to always say something different. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me you rise through the ranks of superintendent over one of America's largest school systems? We're not talking about you in the country bunking town of a rural toon and you're about over 50 students. And don't nobody really know you and you look like the best thing since sliced bread and you're going to bring heaven to us. No, we're talking about one of the largest school systems in the United States of America, and no one knows about you. No one knows. Everybody just looking at your credentials. Everybody looking at these wonderful works you've done. Everybody around you is in leadership. Nobody around except teachers and different people like that, but everybody, the board, everybody, the investigators who investigate your background. Guys, you know that in the United States of America, you know that if you have to go get a clearance or a bond or whatever, a clearance, you know, when you're working for some of these corporations or jobs and you have to have a clearance and then you have to be what they call bonded or whatever that is, where you're legalized to a certain type of information, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what you have to go through just to be cleared just to have a clearance and just to be in a, I think it's called a bond or some type of contract or something like that. Do you know what you go through? The fingerprinting, the information, all this stuff, guys. You know that, right? And that's for certain particular jobs in our thing. So you're going to rise all the way. You've been working in leadership roles for a minute, but you're going to rise all the way to superintendent and nobody knows who you are. Guys, I choose not to believe that narrative. I choose to know that in the United States of America, I don't think so. I just don't think so. I choose to now when I made my episode, I stayed objective. This is more of my opinion, this is more of my experience. This is more of I know how our world work type of information. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the episode I made, it's more of giving you footage, facts, and all that kind of stuff. I've lived long enough and I'm born and raised in this country, generations on down. I live long enough to know that people know how to play a hand. They know how to make you believe that they don't know what's going on, but they're going to use it against you later. This man was a highly intelligent man. This man made some great contributions. He wasn't out there shaking it like it's hot, dropping it like it's hot, and popping it like it's hot. He was contributing ideas that is going to be beneficial, like she said, to their school district that they can use basically for generations to come. And this is towards science, technology, engineering, and math. So I wanted to say it like that. So just so you can think. Now, most immigrants, what they're doing is that they arrest them, and then they send them on back home. Like, you got to go back, right? But for some reason, he is a straight up criminal. Like, they're just hammering him as a criminal. Oh, he had a gun. We're supposed to have a gun. Oh, he's this. Anything they can find. Oh, back in the day, he was fiffling some grades trying to make the school system look like they're coming up with all this criminal behavior, right? Because it's not enough for them to say, okay, you didn't leave when your visa said leave. Now we need for you to go on now. Now we gotta make sure that you got some damage to you. Let me tell you why. Number one, you are an intelligent person. You are highly intelligent. And what you did here on American soil, you can go back to Ghana and do with a Ghana children. You can go to another country to do, just in case you decide to go get a visa with another country. You can do these things anywhere. You can do it anywhere. Not to subtract that some American could have had that job. Some American could have been contributing. But obviously, they didn't want an American. They wanted him, and they wanted the information that he had to give. What came out of him, the ideas that he contributed to. That's what they wanted. If they wanted American, they would have gotten American. But now that they've gotten what they want, now you go, and now we're going to go get an American, because now we got the intel and we can use it to our benefit. But before you go, if we decide to let you go, because we're sure trying to paint you as a criminal, like we're trying to paint you as a criminal, because we're trying to damage you. Because why? The same mind that is creative, the same mind that is talented can go anywhere and be talented. You don't just have to be talented in America. You can go to back to your country and do it for your kids and where you come from. You can go get a visa somewhere else a little bit later and do it. But we got to make sure that you the criminal. So do you ever notice why a lot of the immigrants are not in the news like that? It's more toward how ICE is treating them versus how this man is painted in the news, and they're putting this campaign on this man to make sure that he looks like the worstest criminal. There's a reason for that. And it has to do with the contributions that he made. That they know that he can take anywhere and can go make. If you know how to build houses here, don't you think you know how to build houses anywhere else? Your gift is your gift. Your talent is your talent. Your ideas are your ideas, no matter how you sway it. Now, let's bring it back down to an American level. Let's take it from immigration. I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight into like what's really going on versus what they say is going on, right? I'm gonna leave you with this also. Remember when it came out very shortly, they didn't put too much attention on it at all. Remember the black young lady that they fired for reporting that illegal immigrants were getting driver's licenses and they were not taking driver's tests, and the people at the Department of Transportation was letting them do it, and they knew what was going on. Remember when they hit the media, it was less than 2.5 seconds and it was gone. You ain't heard nothing else. As a matter of fact, as I'm speaking, you probably haven't heard. But you done heard of Iron, huh? You done heard of how bad he is, huh? You done heard out. See, this is the game that people play. So I'm saying all this to say is that if you worked in the school system 20 something plus years and you didn't molest no kids, baby, I give you a hand clap. If you worked in the school system 20 something years and you wasn't abusing kids, baby, I give you a hand clap. If you worked in the school system 20 something years and you helped inspire kids that felt unmotivated, baby, I give you a hand clap. Now, with that being said, it is what it is when it comes to immigration. But don't you think for one moment that you rise that high in the ranks and not be a part of the what they call brotherhood? Don't get it twisted, boo. Y'all know that. So you know that people know about your background is what I'm saying. Now there may be some people didn't know, and you got to contribute to that because everybody don't know all things at all one time. But there is no way in the power fields of leadership, you understand what I'm saying? Maybe a teacher didn't know, maybe a parent didn't know, but there's no way in the fields of leadership that people did not know. I said all this to say, Americans, we need to get better. America have a very, very fine line with them of all this stuff about talking about working hard, the American way. You can do anything you can put your mind to, and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, America is known. Let's get to Americans. Like I said, now let's bring it to American level. How many of you guys, you have been on socials, people have took your ideas and they got 1 million views on your ideas and then they monetizing. People do it all the time. You guys know that, right? You know that, right? So people in America have a good, fine way of suppressing who you are, taking what you do, and making it profit and benefit for themselves. It's been going on for years. It's been going on for years. It's nothing new. Nobody's lying. Nobody making it up. Listen, if I was lying, sweetheart, our courtrooms wouldn't be full of silver cases where people have to constantly sue behind their copyrights, behind patents, behind all this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So America has a long history of taking what it doesn't belong to them. And I believe that the Ian Roberts thing is that he didn't like break the law to come here. This dude, you understand what I'm saying, came over here on a visa. Now, his credentials, as far as they say, his credentials being lied about. Now, in my video that's going to be upcoming, so guys, if you have not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that YouTube notification bell. Make sure everything on your phone. So when that video drop, guys, you guys are going to know. You understand what I'm saying? Ian Roberts, you're going to know. And you're going to see some of this stuff, details, more details, because I'm showing you footage, news clips, all of this. You understand what I'm saying? So there is some things that have been verified that he do have these degrees. And then there are some schools saying that, oh, we can't verify, blah, 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 blah. You know, but this man has been in news. He has done interviews, you know, all this so kind of stuff. And so I remember looking at one interview when I was doing research, and I was thinking like it was an old interview he had done. You understand what I'm saying? Him talking about, but I recognized, I said, wait a minute, this is a recent video. And shortly after he's talking about this is what we're going to be doing, this is the ideas, this and this and that, then bam, now we arrest you. Now you understand what I'm saying? So guys, I just want you to understand that number one, as Americans, we need to do better. We can't keep like fronting about the border and then doing stuff, our leadership doing things that they have no business doing, not supporting the American people, firing the American people for being honest, not doing what we supposed to be doing. And then when stuff goes down the way you want it to go down, now all of a sudden everybody a criminal. Now all of a sudden everybody illegal at the border. Y'all, you need to get real. That's game, right? All this stuff is game. You understand what I'm saying? It's just game. So that's number one. Americans, just like we want other people to do what's right and obey the law, we need to make sure that our leadership is doing what's right, obeying the law, and to make sure that we are doing what's right when it comes to stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because how can you fire people who are Americans and then you condone the behavior? Like the woman who supposedly had reported that Ian somehow Roberts was fifth in grades back in the day, and she tried to report it, and they fired her, right? So again, they want to hide all this information for years, and then they want to do all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, once they got everything they wanted out of you, which is your contribution, your ideas, your effort, the way you built up the system, then all of a sudden, we're going to use all these details against you now, and we're going to paint you such a bad criminal. But there's a reason why the smear campaign is going on, because remember what you did here, you can go to any country and do. Even if they exile your tail, like you can go anywhere and go do, because it's your intelligence at the end of the day. So remember that, guys. Some stuff run a little bit deeper than what we think it runs. Now, is it even deeper than what I'm saying? Yes, it always is. Nobody all have one story. Nobody does. You understand what I'm saying? We just, you know how they say we have bits and pieces, and it's like a puzzle, and everybody get to putting together, and you get to see in the bigger picture. That's basically what it's like, guys, right? So I just wanted to remind you that. So number one, as Americans, we need to do better. And then number two, guys, always remember that when you see stories in the media, sometimes just think, right? Kind of think. Just kind of take a breather and just kind of think and be like, okay, what's the real story? What's really going on? What's really happening besides what we're being told? And guys, you be blessed. Hey, hit me up. Subscribe to me on all socials with the handle at ABIKE Media Works. Also, support me financially, PayPal, Cash App, all of that is in the description below. And go ahead and subscribe, like I said, because that video is going to be upcoming. Now, just in case you have not saw or heard my video now, I have a video now that's just been released. It is running now. And that particular video, let me go pull it up, guys. That particular video is American Capitalism Part 2. American Capitalism Part 2. As a matter of fact, it's running for you right now. Go check it out. Right there on YouTube. The one and only TCLN Network. Go check it out. That video got some real in it, y'all, when it comes to capitalism. Because a lot of people think that the American dream, the eyes of the American dream, capitalism, all this, but there's some truth to that stuff. There's some truth. Even in the Constitution, there's some truth to that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that we're not breaking down the realities of what's really going on in society versus what people want people to believe, right? So check that video out. It is running right now on YouTube, and you guys have a blessed day, okay?